Hello everyone, it's Louise, and it's been a little while since I've done a scrapbook process video, but here we are. Please excuse my voice. I've had a cold for nearly 3 weeks now and it's really taking a while to get over. So we're going to have a look at the scrapbook kit, Exploring Nature. So it has 3 double page layouts, cutting guide, even exactly where to make the first cut, and then pictures and the measurements for placement. Okay. So this is the first one. I stuck fairly true to the layout, but added my own touches that suited my photos. So we have here this layout, and really there's not too much here that's changed. I've added an extra photo in. It needed that extra photo. It was quite blank, and I didn't like it. And because I had some photos on this side with, the photos for the duck are going in a flip-flap on top here. So I'll do that. I add my flip-flaps to the outside of the page protector. And then turn to this side of the page, and I just use more appropriate stickers for here. But in this particular layout, I really did stick closely to the instructions. So for the second one, we have, so the first one, it was in Morocco, and this one is my daughter in Thailand. She was very good and gave me some photos. So this one, the title had Everyday Adventure, and I felt that it's not really an everyday adventure when you're traveling the world. I added some more leaves in the background here and some dots. And then this is all the same. And on this side, same here, I just added in some more leaves in the palm fronds in the background, and here I just felt they needed bulking up a little bit. Apart from that, it's the same. Now in this one, I think I did change it up a little bit more. So my photos were similar sizes, but not quite exactly, and I did want the white border. I print from home, so I can print with a white border generally. I added some print and cut images, so I went to I think it was an Etsy store and looked up some artwork and just purchased that so I could do print and cut on the Cricut. So because I didn't want trees, that really didn't really go with my theme. But you know, Take the Road Less Travelled really was a good title for this particular place in Morocco, where we were quite off the beaten track. Okay, so, and then this side, yep, I just changed the title. I did a print and cut there, and otherwise, yep, there was just a few other, I just changed some of the embellishments. Okay, so now we are going to do a layout with the leftovers. So what we have left over are some of these punch outs, a title, some stickers, and some of the photo placeholders. because I was adding my photos straight away, so I didn't use too many of those. Okay, so here's our sticker sheet, and I'm sure I will find other layouts and other projects to use these on. So I'm not concerned that there's, you know, a little bit left over. The papers, I thought I had kept all the bits. Let's get this in the frame. So these are the pieces that I've chosen, the scraps that were left over. And on my layouts, the original ones, I did cut behind, I think on here, I just put a little strip of this and kept. So that's how I ended up with a few different odd shapes. So that's not too bad. And there were other scraps, but I don't know what's happened, because I did start this layout a few weeks ago and it just got put on the back burner as other things popped up in life, as it does. So I've separated them out, you know, to have one of each on each page, and I figured that this strip, perfect 12 inches, can go along the bottom somewhere. This I'm restricted to, it's directional, so it needs to go this way, okay? And then because there was less on this side, I thought we could add this one, and then that I thought could hide that over there. So that was a starting point, and then I went and looked for some photos. So these are some Roman ruins in Morocco towards the end of my trip, and the colours go quite well, and I thought I'd just lay them out and we'll see where we go. Maybe I should put that there because that was sort of looking up from the bottom of the hill as we were walking up. When you go on a holiday, and I didn't even think that when I looked at the itinerary that this was included, because I didn't read everything. And so I was really surprised to hear about the Roman history in Morocco. And one of the things that there were loads and loads of were cats in Morocco. And so I just had to include it because even in the ruins there were cats. So I've got that far, and I thought I won't stick them down. I'm not sure if I like that, you know, I think I'd like that to go all the way to the top. But that's a good starting place for me. And I will probably find a mat and mat these. Now, embellishments. Hard to think of embellishments for a specific scene, but I figured I pulled in this Nature's Symphony dies and this die. Just so usable. I've used it on so many things. Really, really good die set. And also I've got these wonky circles. Now these, they're called Around It All dies. These are discontinued, but it went with the sort of theme of everything not being symmetrical, you know, and the paving, you know. So, and then that also made me think, as we were walking along all these cobblestones, and we've got these stones here, of this stencil sheet. Stampin' Up called them masks, and it's called a water dye. It comes in a set of 2 and there's some dots on the other one. But when I saw it, I thought of all the pebbled laneways and walkways all throughout Morocco. And I thought maybe we could do some of that in the background. So we'll probably have this tucked under and have it equal level there. I think that we could do a title here. Maybe bump this down and cover up that little awkward little join there. And maybe we could put some of that over in the corner. So before I stick everything down, that's what I will do. I will do some stenciling and inking around the areas. I think we might have some up here, maybe sort of around this corner and around here, and maybe a little bit across the 2 there. So let's just move everything out of, well, I need to sort of tip everything off, don't I? So we'll just do one on camera and then I can go and finish off camera. So we have blending brush, Crumb cake ink, I think will go nicely. Maybe before I start, I'll do a tester. Always good to do a little bit of a test before you get started, I think, instead of wasting a whole sheet. So I am just going to do a bit here, and I really don't want it to look perfect at all. So yeah, I'm going, yep. So if I pop that up there, maybe it could be even a little lighter. Maybe on camera it looks lighter, but it's looking at maybe a little dark. So I might just do it a little lighter. Okay. And I will tape it down. One of the beauties of this stencil is that it goes the whole width. Now I'm going to do some over here, so I'll tape it there. And down there. Okay, and I'll start off the edge over here. Am I in camera? Let me move it across. And I'm just going to be really gentle. Start out gentle, because then we can add a little bit more ink. It's easier to add more than to take it away. And we might go down a bit down the side. So let's have a little look. Yep. It's a little bit lighter. I think that's going to look fabulous. So what I might do is just bring in these and see what I think. Down here. Like that, yep. Then it's just fading out there, and I can do some embellishments over here. So I'm going to pause the video now and go and get the other side done and down the bottom here, and I'll be back soon. Well, I've gone ahead and finished the stenciling here and across here. I've inked up the edges with early Espresso, and I need to do some matte. So I was thinking of the Lost Lagoon, you know, to add some colour, but I felt that it got a bit lost. It wasn't standing out. So then I went to Secret Sea, which is this colour down here, and it's definitely standing out a lot more there. So I will go ahead and I'm just going to do a skinny border. That's just a 1/16 of an inch around there, and I'll do it on those ones. I don't feel that this center ones need it. It sort of then breaks up the secrecy, you know. I don't want it to overpower the whole layout, and they look good there. And this one I will pop there. So I brought in some embellishments. I did a bit of stamping. I went into my stash. So this, some old ones from Close to My Heart. Pack your bag. So if you've got these, that's where I got the Explore. Then this one is This Way to Paradise. And I did stamp, and this one here, I'm going somewhere. No, where is it? Oh, there is still so much to see. And I had, these were Cricut cuts, and they were already cut out in the pack. You've got to love that, don't you, when you get organised. Yep, and that one, Life is an Adventure, is from this one. Okay, so then using the Nature Symphony dies, I've cut some of these in Lost Lagoon, and then this one here, it's in Garden Green, and I've done some on the two-tone and some in the darker side. So lighter side, darker side, just to give some variation. The page was starting to feel a bit bland. I don't know why. That's why I thought, oh, some nice green will pick that up. And then these dies I've from the Relaxing Waterside set, I have stamped this on those Around You Go dies in Pecan Pie. So not sure, you know, if I'm using everything, but anyway, I thought we'll start placing things down before I attach these down. So I want to, you know, just cover up that little spot there. And now these you can, I tear these apart, you know, if they're a bit too big and too much and more than what I need. So I thought going across like that, and I'm not sure if I want to put that there or not. Thinking about that. So if I leave that there, then I can, you know, mull over it, so to speak. Now I do like things under and over a lot when I'm doing my embellishment clusters. And I'm not, actually this might be better across here like that. And I might ink around the edges. Let's see what, I've got some left on early espresso on the end. I wonder, it might just need that little something, and goes with this writing on this paper too. Yep, that's going to be, I think that's going to be good there. And we'll put some of these in and around as well. And Oh, they're over here. So something like that, possibly. And I want a title up here. I'm thinking Roman ruins. That might need to be bumped down a bit. Maybe that explore there. Now I wanted to show you something. I thought this was too big, but if we trim that down, so if we go like that and only emboss it, cut it, I mean, to this, so it'll be partial die cutting. So if I pop that on there, let's just move these out of the way for a minute. Bring in the machine. Pop that on there like that. And hang it off the edge so it's not going to cut. Okay, so we'll run it through like that. Okay. And then this, you can sort of feel where it slots in. I hope this is going to work. Best laid plans. So pop that in. So it's going to look like that. Moved a little bit. Let's see if it's worked like I thought it might. Perfect. Perfect. And that could be a better size for there. I could always tuck that under there. Yeah, it didn't quite meet there, but I could always tuck it under there like that. So let's ink this one as well. Yep. Okay. And then I am going to keep these smaller pieces because I thought that I could have a little something there. The sticker sheet. And maybe we can add that in and around as well, just to brighten up the page a little. And see, there's this one here. I might be able to just, yeah. Well, I'll think about that. And so what I might do now, get photo mats down and get some of these embellishment clusters finished off. I might also ink around the edges of these. So I thought I knew what I was going to use for my title, the Party Alphabet dies, but they're not going to fit. They're just too big. So I had to go to my stash, and I'm not sure what they're called. I think it's the Moxi Alphabet. So we'll that fits. So I've used Pecan Pie, and I'm going to do Roman ruins. So I'm going to pop that over there. So I've cut them out on the light side. I've embossed them with the exposed brick embossing folder, which is not right next to me. It's in the house. Anyway, then after that, I've gently, and I won't sand over the top, and just gently sand the top to expose the white core. One of the great benefits of two-tone cardstock. Okay, so I've done that, and I'm not sure if I want to add some ink to bring it out a bit, but it's going to be a little tricky getting into some of these areas. I'm going to have a go because I think it will help get that to stand out just a little bit more. I'll do one and see. Yeah, I think that really does help. So I'm not going to be able to get into the centre areas, but that's fine, I think. And I'm just using what's left over on my brush. Okay, now, because I can finish that off camera, I'm using the Mini Alphabet die, this one, my favourite, use it heaps. And I put adhesive sheet on the back so that it's easy to adhere. And I thought I think I'll do that in Secret C. We'll put it down and we'll see what it's. So let's hope we've got the letters we need already. Okay, so I will go through and look for, there's an I. We're getting there. We just need an R. Got an S. And yeah, that looks like I'm going to have to cut. But what I'll do is I'll cut one and just put a little square over the R instead of, you know, cutting a whole new sheet. So I'll do that off camera because that'll take me a little while, fiddle around. I'm going to print up my journaling and I'm going to do it on vellum. So that's what so I've got these adhered down and this has popped up on foam. I'm happy with the way that's come out, and I wanted to put, I might put these up on foam and then these can go in maybe just behind like that, and it just needs a little something. Not that you need to have 3 embellishment clusters, but it fills up that gap really nicely too. So yeah, something like that. Okay, won't be long. So let's take a close-up look. So we've got our stenciling in the background, which complements the stonework, the title where we've done some embossing and sanded it and added a bit of ink around the edges. I've used the pressed flower motifs there and delved into my stamp stash, which is really great to be able to use these things that we've spent our money on, and it's good to get use out of it. and the journaling on the vellum. It's attached underneath that photo there, and then I've just torn the edge there. So I hope you've enjoyed today's layout and having a look at what I've done with the leftovers from the kit. And if you haven't done so, like and subscribe. It really helps out my YouTube channel. Have a great day, and I will see you in my next video. Bye for now.